when I'm replacing the spider gasket in my multi-port, what do you suggest I glue it in place with?
Well, I would use certainly use an adhesive and let it dry. I think when we in the service part of the industry, and way back, the many years ago when I was a lead service guy for the company, we're out there servicing a pool and we have to dig the old gasket out, and sometimes it came right out because it was all brittle and broken, and other times we had to literally dig it out because it was glued in really well. We oftentimes just sort of dry set it in with a water-based lubricant to hold it in place, because we need to get the system up and running right away, because we're not going to be there for 24 hours to let an adhesive glue that gasket down. We would use a water-based lubricant to help hold it in place, and that tended to work. But if I were doing it at my own house, what I would do is I would put the new gasket in with a good silicone-based caulk, like an 801 from Boss, and I would dry it out first, get the valve nice and dry where that gasket goes, put a real small bead, you don't need a lot of it, a real small bead, glue that rubber gasket down and let it sit for 24 hours before I put the system back together. If you do that, then you get a good bond. If you slap it together and put it back together real fast and get the water going in there, that silicone will probably never set up, and the gasket's just going to roll out again. But the ideal way would be to dry it out completely, use an 801 from Boss is what we use the most of, and let that sit up for a little bit so it really holds that rubber gasket in place.